Hello and welcome to the 2021 Revere TV Municipal Elections Results Show. I'm Ed DeVoe. It's good to be here tonight. Looking forward to hearing some of the results in the races that are taking place. If you're watching the show, I'm sure you know stranger to the races that are going on at this point. But just to recap, we've got in the at-large races, we have 6 candidates going for 5 at-large seats. 4 of the candidates, Stephen Morabito, George Rotundo, Jerry Visconti, and Anthony Zambuto are all incumbents. And then we have 2 new candidates, Dan Rizzo, who's not necessarily new, who's been in that seat before, and Mark Silvestri, who hasn't been in that seat before but would like to be. Looking at Ward 1, we have Joanne McKenna, who's running unopposed. In Ward 2, we have Ira Novoselski, who does have a challenger, Manuel Carrero, who will be running against him, and we'll see what happens there. In Ward 3, with the retirement of Arthur Ganasso, that ward is wide open at this point with Anthony Cagliandro and Al Terminello, both running for that seat being vacated by Arthur Ganasso. In Ward 4, Patrick Keefe is also running unopposed. And then in Ward 5, we have longtime councilor John Powers, who is being opposed by Al Fiore, who is running a pretty tight race there, I believe. And then in Ward 6, we have Ricky Serino, who is also running opposed. So those are the council seats that are up for grabs. Then we will come over to the school committee. We have 6 seats available there. And again, we have 9 people running for those 6 seats. 5 of them are incumbents. We have Stacy Rizzo, an incumbent, Michael Ferranti, Susan Gravelisi, Fred Sanella, and Carol Ty. Many of who have been there for quite a while. And then we have John Kingston, who is running for that seat, never been on that seat, who ran once before, I believe, in the last election, came close, but not close enough to get on. Along with John Kingston, we have 3 other candidates who are new to the list. Vanessa Biasella, who has been a long-time community activist and supporter within the city, Jacqueline Chavez, and Aisha Milbury Ellis. So 3 women who are also running for the seat, 3 new women, and it's going to be interesting. Jacqueline Chavez and Vanessa and Aisha Milbury Ellis, both newcomers to the race and to the city in some respects. So it'll be interesting to see what where things go at this point with that race. When we look at the results tonight, and one of the things that we'll see in the race, and those of you who have been voting, have noticed that there's been some polling changes took place in this election, where there used to be multiple polling places in some wards, where there is only 1. In a couple of wards, there are still multiple. If we look at Ward 1, there's only 1 polling place there, and that's the Beachmont School. So all the precincts will be going there. In Ward 2, they had 2 polling places, the Garfield and the Carl Hyman Towers. Ward 3 is the St. Anthony's Church, is the solo polling place there. In Ward 4, we have the James Hill, the Sergeant James Hill Elementary School. Looks like we have the mayor coming on board, so we'll take a time out from that and talk with the mayor. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening. I'm coming live from my vehicle right now.
Okay. Have you got a tuxedo on?
I don't.
Oh, okay. It looked like you had a bow tie there.
Today.
So, talking, I was just mentioning about the polling places, and forgive me, and somehow I missed it, and maybe it's just I didn't watch enough city council meetings. How did the polling changes come about?
Yeah, so initially we had to make some changes due to COVID. And as everyone knows, there were some changes in the amount of space that we needed in order to really be able to pull elections together. And with some of the changes that we saw with COVID, there were some changes that folks wanted to continue to make, and the Election Commission took that upon themselves to make some of those changes. And the process for that is that the the council ultimately votes on those locations, and they were all approved. I know there were definitely some changes, and we're going to constantly get feedback and hear back from the residents. And one thing that I heard loud and clear from many people were that they missed voting at the Lincoln School. So that may be something that we take a look at. I know Ward 3 we condensed all at St. Anthony's. Ward 4 we condensed all at Hill Park. So Hill School, not Hill Park. But those changes really did come from to some degree from what was going on with COVID, and our response to that. In terms of making sure that everybody was safe and we could safely have an election.
Do you foresee that there would be maybe some further discussion as to the polling places going forward for the next election?
Absolutely. We, as we always do, we want to hear feedback from people, and we adjust what we do, whether it's an election or how we operate our Department of Public Works or how we do anything here in the city. So we always want to hear that feedback, and if there is any constructive feedback, we're always willing to incorporate that into what we do in the future.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah. So one of the other questions I wanted to ask you was, looking at the election, as I said, we've got 4 people running for. 4 new people running for school committee. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got about 5 or 6 new people running in the various council races. Give us your overall thoughts about the election and the races that are out there.
Anytime there are new people that take that leap of faith into elected office or putting their name on a ballot to become an elected official is it's special. I know that's something that I certainly appreciate as a resident and as somebody who cares about their community. And when you have new energy come in, sorry about that. I just got a phone call. When
I thought it was me.
New energy come in. When you have new energy come in and new people that want to run for office and take that, as I said, that leap of faith, it's exciting. That is the lifeblood of our public discourse and how we do the things that we do every day. And to have fresh perspectives and have people with different opinions and different ideas is really important.
Yep.
And it helps make all of our jobs and helps us do a better job for our residents. So, I was certainly excited. I know the school committee, there were a number of new folks, and I think part of that was because there was a new or an open seat due to the fact that Anthony D'Ambrosio is running for Senate. So, I think it was exciting to see that those new faces and new names pop up and want to be part of what is happening in the city.
Yeah, and watching some of the candidate statements, especially at the school committee races, it was really kind of interesting to listen to some of them and hear from them and to see some young faces and not to take away from the people who have been doing this job for years, and I commend them for doing it, but it's good to see some new faces and up and coming, hopefully, people that at some point in time will be taking the reins, as people like Arthur Granasso and so forth retire. So it's very encouraging to see some of those people that are out there.
It really is. And, I had this conversation with our state rep, Jess Janino. And, when we came in as city councilors back in the 2011 election, it's kind of a little bit of the beginning of a new guard. And to now be considered a little bit of an elder statesman and to have newer, fresher faces coming on the scene is really exciting. And it's a great opportunity for us to provide leadership and, to set the example for how we govern and how we lead the city. And, that's really important for me and for, I think, all of us as elected leaders of the community is to really set that example for younger people, because coming after those young people that are running this year are even younger people who are looking up to them saying, hey, this may be something that I want to do. And so it's so important for us to provide that leadership, to be able to set the example and really, continue to make our city a great place to live. And that's only going to happen if we instill the respect and the idea that we can, maybe not always agree, but we're going to do it in a way that is respectful, and we're going to know that we're all operating from a baseline of caring about our community and wanting to do the best things for our city.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, do you have to go? Are you good?
I got another phone call. I'm sorry.
Popular guy,
aren't you? I'm in my car on my phone. I apologize for this.
No worries.
I've been a little busy today.
I guess one other question very quickly is that looking to the new council, whatever the makeup is going to be, what's kind of the first things that you're looking to do with the new incoming city council?
We look forward to working with every council that's come on board. And, what I've been excited to see is in some of the literature that people have put out there that they want to work with and help our office. And, we're always looking to do that. And we want to make sure that every single councilor knows that we want to work with them. And at the end of the day, if we're all working together and rowing in the same direction, that's good for our residents. And we're going to be able to provide great services and do all of the things that our residents love and make our community a better place to live if we are all working together. So I look forward to that. That may not always be the case, but I want to make sure that we put our best foot forward and we're working with everyone.
Amen. Well, thanks for calling in. We're going to move on to, looks like we maybe have some results coming in, but thank you very much for calling us in today and giving us your thoughts. Take care.
Thank you, Ed.
All right. Okay, we have some unofficial updates for the at-large race. And looking at the total, we've got Steve Morabito at the top with 620 votes. George Rotundo in second with 596. Jerry Visconti running third with 561. Anthony Zambuto in fourth place with 500 votes. And we have, because it wasn't in total order, we have Dan Rizzo, who is topping the ticket right now, and Mark Silvestri, who's 593. So if we're looking at it, we've got Dan is in first, 620 comes in Steve Morabito next, and then we have George Rotundo, I think, third. Followed by Mark Silvestri, who is fourth, and then we have Visconti and Zambuto, I think, in fifth and sixth, if I'm reading that right. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So we'll see how that pulls up. And this is 4 of 21 precincts, so it's a little early in the race. In the Ward 1 race, we have, there's no votes in yet in the Ward 1 race for Joanne. Ward 2, Ira, and, could we go back with Ward 2? All right, we'll stay with Ward 4. With Ward 4, we have Patrick Keefe at 694 votes. Ward 5, we've got Al Fiore at 296, leading John Powers. So if this holds up, and this is... it says 0 of 3 precincts, but somebody's got to be reporting. But right now, Al Fiore has the lead. And then in Ward 6, we got Ricky Serino. There's no votes reported yet there. So looks like we have Patrick Keefe on the line. So let's talk with Patrick. Patrick, how are you? Taking a midnight stroll? How you doing there, Patrick? Can you hear us?
I'm here now. Sorry
there you go. Got to take it off of mute, right?
No, I was just taking a trip down Broadway. I just jumped out of the car.
Well, you still looking for boats or what?
Right. We're out canvassing. We just left the polls at Ward 4, Ward 1, 2, and 3, so I was able to just pull the results and jump onto Revere TV. How's it looking out there?
Well, it's looking good. I mean, there's some interesting ones. Dan Rizzo right now is topping the ballot,
Right.
and forgive me, the numbers never stay in my head, but he was topping it. Rotundo, I think, was second. Oh, here we go. Dan Rizzo is now 1,000 votes. We've got Mark Silvestri at 805 in second place. Steve Morabito in third at 801, and then we have Rotundo at 759, so that's fourth. Visconti at 730 is fifth, and then Zambuto would be sixth. So it's interesting at-large race going on.
It's definitely an interesting race for, and of course I'm not polling official. It was it looked like Dan Rizzo and Steve Morabito were leading the pack, close for everyone else. So it was very tight. There wasn't much separation between the six candidates.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. This is 5 out of 21 precincts reporting. So as we get more in, it'll be interesting to see if that holds. And then, and as we pointed out in the Ward 5, it looks like Al Fiore has a current lead over John Powers. And Ira, there's nothing in Ward 2 yet, which is the other contended race. In the Ward 3 race, Cagliandro is leading Al Terminello by 222. Or at 222 versus 85. So
what did you have? Ward 5, you said?
Ward 5, I want to say Ward 5, here it is right here. We've got Fiore at 537, John Powers at 379.
Gotcha.
So he's got a pretty good lead, and then again, it says 0 of 3 precincts, but like I said, somebody's reporting in. I'm sorry, what?
2 of 5 precincts reporting in Ward 5.
Oh, Ward 5, okay. You know what? I have to learn to read these things. All right, there it is. 2 of 5 precincts. I was looking at the wrong ward. And Patrick, you've got about 700 votes apparently in your precinct, and all three have reported in.
Right. And
so that's
70.
Looks like 76 of it's there. %.
Yeah. Yeah, we hit our goal of, we want to, whenever it was an uncontested election, which of course we don't necessarily want to complain about, but even as a voter, I know that even friends of mine, they're all, you got this, you don't need any luck, don't worry about it, but you always want to make sure you get people out to vote, just to offer that civic duty. So typically, and if you look in the years past, uncontested elections, getting over 70% has been very challenging. You go back to even some of the Charlie Patch days and some of the, really strong, Arthur Guanasso and really strong ward candidates. So the goal for us was to get over 70%. And so we're happy that we reached well over 70%. It was a pretty solid turnout for Ward 4, so we were excited.
Well, that's great. So, looking to the when the council gets formed in January with the new candidates and all, or the new elected officials, what sort of things are you looking forward to tackling as you get started in January? Anything in particular? I talk about it all the time. It's, for me, it's constituent services. It's being responsive. And that's where it's funny, people coming over and helping me out, or just some other candidates in the area, when they saw me at the polls, they're like, hey, you really know everybody. And it's not through canvassing. It's not through politicizing. It's through the fact that you get so many calls and emails a week. And when you respond within 2 hours or 3 hours, literally, people really love that. And, sometimes I've talked about this, is they just want an answer. It's not always going to be the answer that they want to hear. Sometimes it's the blatant truth. I'll use, Ridge Road, Prospect, and Homer Street right now. The roads have been ripped up through some gas line work and whatnot. And we're going to redo those roads. So a lot of people have asked me to say, we heard they're not going to get done. They're absolutely going to get done. We've set aside some money. We made National Grid pay towards some of it. But unfortunately, the truth is they're probably not going to get done before November 15th, which is kind of like the last digging day of the year. So when I tell them, honestly, it's going to happen in the first of the spring, they get excited. They're at least appreciative that I gave them an answer and didn't just blow them off. So that's really how I've built my base in the ward, and that's really how I've gotten to know so many people. Most of the time, it's just like in the restaurant business. You get to know the people that aren't happy, and then you make them loyal followers or loyal
constituents, and then you show your loyalty to them and what you're able to do, and they show that back. So really thankful for those residents of Ward 4 that come out, and also the residents of the entire city that we're always, people call me for voting issues throughout the city, and that's something I always try and do. But I got Joanne McKenna over here with me.
Oh.
We're kind of celebrating
Joanne.
our official victory together. Council McKenna, say hello.
Hello.
Hey, Joanne, how you doing?
Devote.
Now, in the first
anything.
reports that we get in, we
Joanne.
hadn't had anything reported in from Ward 1 yet.
Okay,
I don't know
hold
if
on
we've
a
got
minute.
any updates
Gotta
at
put
this
the
point,
earbud
but
in.
what do you know?
I don't know anything.
What are you hearing, Joanne? It looks like you have zero votes.
I got 0 votes.
Oh,
and
boy.
It's not looking good for me. That's
Yep.
for sure.
Nobody's reported in from Ward 1 yet.
Well,
Go over to the school, shake them up, get those
no
votes coming in.
news.
So I was asking Patrick, and I'll ask you the same question. So looking to the new session, if you will, that will be coming in January, what are some of the things you're looking forward to tackling or want to get started and going with the new council, however it's going to be made up?
I just want camaraderie. I just want everybody to be on the same page and work together. I think we've had a great council. We work together. We all talk to each other, which is great. We all communicate with each other. We ask each other, if this project is good or if that project is not good. So we all work together. We're all colleagues and friends. So I just want to see the camaraderie continue because, like I said, we're all friends and we're all colleagues. We all talk. We all communicate. We all want to be on the same page, and we want to do the best for Revere. So that's exactly what I want.
Joanne is and this is not disrespectful. This is very respectful. Joanne's the mom of the council, and that to me is a high honor. She's always talked about getting along and working together, and we'll get a lot more together done in 2022 if we all work together. And again, it's me. I don't want to put Revere in the negative news. I want to put Revere in the positive news.
Definitely.
I believe in Revere, so we believe in you, and we hope you believe in us. And I hope that I appreciate Revere TV's coverage is, and we're gonna go celebrate a little bit. We might check in later on tonight. How's that?
All right. Well, great. From your lips to God's ears, I agree.
Great.
Camaraderie. I mean, because that's the way we're going to truly be able to move
Camaraderie.
forward.
And the best for Revere. That's what we want. We go forward
Amen.
with the best for Revere.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Have a great
you.
night,
Thank
guys.
you both very much for
Thank you,
joining
coverage.
in. Take care. Did I see we have Manny Carrero, or was that not happening? Do we have somebody coming on? No, I guess we don't. Can we look at the results one more time? See if there's any changes there. Oh, wait a minute. I see a face. There he is.
Hey,
Anthony, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. You've got a good lead going on there in the Ward 3 race at this point in time. Are you popping the champagne at this point, or are you still waiting?
No popping of anything just yet. Waiting for official results, but everything's looking real good.
Yep.
Just got back to my karate school. A bunch of my friends and family and students are here. Yeah.
Got all your stories. That where you're going to have your campaign party tonight if you win.
You know what? This is we're celebrating either way. We put forward the most amazing campaign, and I could not have done this without my friends and family and all of my supporters. So we have much to celebrate, regardless of victory or defeat. So
Yeah. Well, congratulations, and I hope what you've achieved so far, and hopefully this will carry on for you as it moves on, and we'll see what happens. And I hope to maybe hear from you at the end of the night, and we can truly celebrate if in fact you're there.
Being popped, I can't promise anything. Okay?
All right.
So
I guess I'll ask you a question that I've been asking all the other candidates in terms of if you do make it onto the council and come January with the new session, what are some of the first things you're looking to tackle and things that you're looking to be involved in?
I'm excited to be a part of There's issues going on in neighborhoods. There's a lot of infrastructure, and just small things like just improving quality of life for people. I have some great ideas for Jacobs Park, which is on Hastings Ave. And I just want to bring some new things to the ward. It's been a while. So.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and thank you for phoning in.
Thank you. Have a good night, sir.
All right. You too. All right, so that was Anthony Cagliandro, who has a pretty good lead there in Ward 3. Okay, we have some updates. All right, so let me see if I can get this right. We have Dan Rizzo at 1669, looks like he's at the top. Steve Morabito with 1376 is number 2. Mark Silvestri is number 3 at 1329. Him and Steve are going back and forth with second and third place. Following that, we have Jerry Visconti. No, we have George Rotundo at 1252. That's and then Jerry Visconti at 1219, followed by Tony Zambuto at 1144. So that is the at-large race. So if I were to do it, so we've got, okay, we're going back to the ward races. Ira Novoselski is 110. Manny Carrero is 129. So with one of 4 precincts, right now it's gone up to Manny at 149, Ira at 139. So right now Manny has a small lead over Ira with 2 of 4 precincts reporting. And then again, going back to Ward 3, it's still 222 versus 85. That again, that's 1 of 3 precincts reporting, so we still have a couple to hear from. In Ward 4, Patrick, as we pointed out, all 3 precincts reporting. That's 694 votes. In Ward 5, John Powers is 674. Al Fiore is leading that race at 908, and we've had all 5 precincts in. And so if there aren't any other votes within those precincts to be counted, it looks like Al Fiore may be the new counselor for Ward 5. So we'll have to see how that ends up. But right now, it looks like we have one new counselor on the council, and Al Fiore for Ward 5, representing Ward 5. So that up, and we just got for Ricky Sereno, we got in a report of 124 votes, and that's 1 out of 3 precincts reporting. So at this point, let's see, we're going back to the at-large and see where that. I'm so sorry. School committee. I'll learn to read at some point. School committee votes. Let's see. I'm going to start with 1,200. Looks like 1,293. Carol Ty, now 1,370, is leading that race. And I'm looking at 1,206 for Michael Ferranti. The next up there would be 1,203, John Kingston. Aisha Milbury-Ellis, another newcomer, at 1,207. So she's within the range. And then we have Vanessa Biasella at 875, Susan Gravelisi at 1,100, and Shaki Chavez at 1017. So as it stands, so we need 6, and so we've got Carol, we've got Michael, we've got John, we've got Aisha, there's 4, and then we go down to 1043. Oh, we got Stacy at 1104. That's 5, and Susan Gravelisi at 1100, I think would be 6 if I'm reading all of those right. So that's what it looks like would be your school committee as it stands right now. And we have 12 of 21 precincts reporting in there. So a little more than half reporting in. So we'll see where that goes as we get more votes coming in. So that's interesting. So it looks like we may have 2 new school committee people in John Kingston and Aisha Milbury-Ellis. For the next session, if you will, for the school committee coming up. Carol Ty, longtime school committee person. She was the superintendent of schools at one point and just about everybody's English teacher in high school that you ever talked to. She is leading the ticket at 1370. So, she's kind of like the queen of the committee, if you will, and she's continuing to hold reign, I guess, at this point. So, What do we got? Oh, and wait a minute. We've got, she's up at 1555 now. And let's see, then they're really challenging me with my math here. I got 1555. I've got 1308 for Sue Gravelisi, 1381. Stacy at 1266. So I'm 15, 13, 13. There's 3. 14, John Kingston. 1375, Aisha. So that's still holding. We've got Aisha, John, Carol, Susan Gravelisi, Michael Ferranti, and Rizzo. I think that's 6, if I got it right. But we'll find out. Looks like I got Ira Novoselski, Ward 2, on the line here. Ira, how are you?
I'm fine now.
So I looking at some of the results coming in at this point, Manny Carrero has a small lead over you at this point. Any thoughts?
Well, I have the final numbers.
You have the fine numbers?
I have final numbers.
Oh, you have the final numbers. And what are they?
Well, from what you had, I'm not sure what precincts you had, but he took 2-1 and 2-2, 2-3, and I took 2-2 by 50 votes and 2-3-8 by 9 votes. So the total was me 300 and Carrero 267.
So you ended up 300 and he was 267.
That was by our count. Of course, it's unofficial until it comes
Okay,
through.
so again, it's an unofficial update.
Yes.
But all right, well, so if that holds true, then you'll be returning to the council next year.
That is true.
And I'll give you a what's the word? An unofficial congratulations, I guess, until we hear the real word. But as I've been asking all the other candidates who that will be there next year that we know of at this point, what are the first things you want to tackle on the council?
Well, the thing is, we move right along. We pick up as much major items that we want to pick up. I know everybody's talking about affordable housing, but we don't have control of affordable housing unless developers want to. And then, of course, everybody's complaining about traffic and development. The city is moving ahead, and we're growing, and it's shown that in the census. It's going to be a strange precinct changes, redistricting, but I just look forward to do the best for my ward and keep moving along. And unfortunately, we didn't really get a good turnout.
Yep.
Out of potential 4,200 total votes, only 585 people came out to vote.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I know, and when I was talking to the mayor earlier about polling places, and I wasn't sure how much the consolidating of polling places might deter some of the people getting out to vote. But in your ward, you had 2 polling places, right?
Right. We went back to the old way.
I'm sorry, say again?
Back to the old way, two precincts, two voting precincts.
Yeah. Okay. And
it was more convenient for a lot of the people in Shirley Ave. So that's why I brought it back.
So at 267 and 300, many came pretty close. And so what does that, if you will, tell you in terms of work you need to do going forward or within your ward? Any, I
think what I have to do is try and get my people out to vote, because it's obvious that they didn't.
Okay.
He got what I thought he would get, but I'm probably half of what I thought I was going to get.
Uh-huh.
So I just have to go to my people and say, hey, listen, you got to get out to vote. If you trust in me and you want me to continue to help you, then next time around, you're going to have to get out to vote and do your thing, and don't say, oh yeah, you got it. Everybody was patting me on the back today and say, you got it, you got it, you got it. And everybody around the city would say, you got it, you got it, you got it. I thought I had it too, that they wouldn't be this close, but I didn't expect a low turnout.
Yeah. Well, if the numbers hold up, then looks like you'll be in there, and I'll give you again a conditional congratulations at this point, and hope to see you there next year if it all holds true. Take care, Ira.
I hope so. Thank you, man.
All right, you're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, all right, you heard it unofficially, officially from Ira, officially, unofficially, that according to the numbers he has 300 votes versus Daniel Carrero's, or Manny Carrero's, 267, forgive me. We have Department of Massachusetts, okay.
That's me, Ed. Don't ignore it.
Oh, that was you. Oh, you were getting a call. Okay, thank you. I'll learn that. You see, when I was talking to the mayor's thing was showing up, and now with that. So when I see some of those crazy things show up, it means they're getting a call on their phone. So
I have my Jewish war veterans on this Zoom.
Okay, looking at some of the other ward results in here, we're still showing Manny with a slight lead over Ira, but so that still needs to be updated. Patrick, as reported, was 694. Al Fiore, 908 to John Powers, 674. As I said, it looks like Al Fiore has won that race unofficially. And Ricky Serino at this point, with all three precincts reporting in, has 828 votes, about 73% of the vote. School committee, let's see if this has changed. We've got Carol at 1906 is the lead still. Michael Ferranti is 1640. Susan Gravelisi, 1617. John Kingston at 1700. Isha Milbury Ellis at 1623. So I gotta say those guys are still in the pack, and we've got Jackie Chavez coming up at 1347, but she's still falling behind Fred Sinella, so I'm not sure she's going to make it in the pack there. So, Counselor at Large, we've got, let's see, the top vote getter here so far, again, is still Dan Rizzo at 2,644, followed by Mark Silvestri at 2166. Steve Morabito at 2167. Then we've got, following that, we would have Jerry Visconti at 1984 and George Rotundo at 1868, followed by Tony Zambuto at 1783. So those are the top six there. And that's with 16 of 21 reporting in. Joanne McKenna, we've got some word in from Ward 1. Right now we're showing 245 with 1 out of 3 precincts reporting. Again, the Ira numbers still don't reflect what we officially heard from him. And then looking at Ward 3, we have Anthony Cagliandro is still at 416, or at 416 at this point, to Al Terminello's 200. Al's closed the gap a little bit, but Anthony's still holding ahead by twice as many. There's still one more precinct to report in there. So that's up through Ward 3. So those are the ward races at this point. So it looks like we're going to have Anthony Cagliandro in Ward 3, if that holds true. Al Fiore at Ward 5. So we've got Cagliandro, Fiore. Ward 1 stays the same. Ward 4 stays the same. Ward 2 will stay the same at this point if that Ira's numbers hold true. And then and there's another ward that I'm missing, and that I think was unopposed. Oh, Ricky Serino. So that's 4, and the other 2. And then we'll see 2 new faces, it looks like, on the council this year coming up. Along with it, the large, Rizzo, and if I don't have the board in front of me, I don't remember. Thank you very much. So Silvestri, Rizzo. So Rizzo, Silvestri, 1, 2, 3, 4 new faces on the council this year. That come January. And it's 17 out of 41. The number is Dan. Whoops, where are we? Just moved on again. All right, going back there, we've got Dan at 2843. Steve Morabito, 2281. Mark Silvestri is 2295. Dan Rizzo's. So Mark is second, following by Stephen Morabito, followed by Jerry Visconti, followed by Rotundo, followed by Visconti, and then last is Tony Zambuto. And that's with 17 of 21. So if I'm doing the math correctly, we've got 4 new faces coming onto the city council in January. So that would be, and that would be replacing the 1 seat vacated by Jessica when she went to the State House, the other one vacated by Arthur, the third one being John Powers, lost to Al Fiore, and then the other one would be someone else is getting booted out, and I forgot on Councilor at Large. Look at your list, Ed. Visconti, Rotundo, Morabito, Rizzo. Nope. There's the 6 candidates. Okay. For 5 seats. All right. So that means, forgive me, sometimes it takes me a little while, but if things hold true the way they are, there's only 5 seats, and that means Tony Zambuto is not going to make the council for next year, if these numbers hold true. I think many of you probably saw that before me, and I'm sorry, but I'm just catching on, so forgive me. So we lose 1 familiar face in terms of Zambuto if this holds true. Again, going back to the ward races, the Ward 2 still has not been finalized or updated, or like I said, it's still showing Manny Carrero leading, but of course Ira said that's not the case. Ward 3, Cagliandro is still ahead by twice as many votes as Al Terminello. And Patrick Keefe is, going to be returning, of course, unopposed. John Powers, looks like he has lost to Al Fiore. And then Ricky Serino is, of course, returning unopposed, and he got about 73% of the vote. Again, coming back to the school committee, we have Carol Ty, and this is 16 to 21 reported at 2145. So that's 1. Then we've got, next up is 2002, John Kingston is number 2 there at this point. Then we've got 1855 as Michael Ferranti is in 3rd. 1812 is Susan Gravellisi at 4th. 1811 is Aisha Milbury Ellis at 5. And we've got the other one then after that would be Fred Sinella, if I got it right, would be number 6. I just heard from the producer I'm correct. Damn, I got it. So it's a challenge sometimes, at least for me anyway. But at any rate, so those are the 6 we've got, and I'll do it one more time. Carol Ty just went up to 2172. All right, we got some new numbers coming in, so hold on to your hats. All right, Carol is still the leader at 2172, so she's number 1, followed by John Kingston at 2014. And then when we look at the numbers, we've got 1874 is Michael Ferranti is 3rd. Susan Gravellisi, 1832 is 4th. Aisha Milbury Ellis is 5th at 1829. And then the next number, 1588, Fred Sinella. So those are your current 6 school committee people, with 17 of 21 precincts reporting in. So the last 2 number changes have held those steady. We'll see if they hold steady as we move on. Going back to the at-large race, again, we have Dan Rizzo at 2956. He's number 1. Mark Silvestri, 2403. Steve Morabito at 2442 is number 2. Mark Silvestri, 2403 is number 3. Then we've got 2190 at number 4 is Jerry Visconti. And then we have 2086 Rotundo at number 5, and Tony Zambuto still running last and out of the race at this point for the at-large race. And that's with 18 of 21 reporting in. Okay, so we've just got an update on Ward 2 with 3 of 4 reporting in. We've got 270 Ira, and 230 for Manny Carrero. So Ira has taken the lead in that, as he indicated the final results would show he will. And then again, with Anthony Cagliandro and Al Tremonello, that's still holding at the same number, 416 to 200. And then John Powers and Al Fiore. Al Fiore, it looks like that's gonna stay the way it has reported in with the last number of updates. All precincts in 908 to 674. So Al will be coming in January as the new counselor for Ward 5. It looks like, and Ricky Serino, of course, unopposed, will be returning as Ward 6 counselor. So there's some interesting changes tonight. It'll be, if we look at the school committee, we could have 2 new people there in John Kingston. All right, let's look at that again. This is with 17 of 21. We still had Carol, and now at 2381. Manny Ferranti is 20. Okay, so now we got Kingston in number 2 at 2066. Manny Ferranti is at 1944. Aisha Milbury is 1886, and that's number 4. Let's see. We're moving up. Jackie Chavez. Fred Sinella is 1636. Close on his heels is Jackie Chavez at 1624. And then we got Stacy Rizzo up at 1754. So I'll go Carol, Michael, Susan. 17 for Stacy. 1636 for Fred, and Aisha at 1800. So that looks like your 6 counselors at this point. 6 committee people, excuse me. All right, so we have 18 of 21 at the counselor at large. Dan Rizzo is at 3066. Next one up is 2552, which is Steve Morabito at number 2. Mark Silvestri, 2518 at number 3. Jerry Visconti, 2261 at number 4. George Rotundo, 2164 at number 5. And Tony Zambuto at 2096. Ward 1, the same. Ward 2, the same. Ward 3, no change either. And then Patrick, again, Powers, Serino. So it looks like the wards, we're not going to see any changes there. So we know who we got. We've got Fiore in Ward 5. We've got Cagliandro, it looks like, in Ward 3. I forgot how many precincts reported in there. Did we have them all? 2 of 3. So there's still one more precinct to report in there. Manny Carrero and Ira, there's still one more precinct to report in there. But what we've heard would be that Ira is going to end up the top on that one. We'll see. And then going back to the school committee, Carol's at 2373, still the top vote getter, followed by John Kingston, number 2 at 2167. Michael Ferranti, number 3 at 2012. We've got Sue Gravelisi, Aisha Milbury Ellis at 1989. Then Sue Gravelisi at 1976. So that's 4, and then the next one would be Stacy Rizzo at 1814, and if I'm reading them right, that's the 5, and then we need 6. One more would be, forgive my slow eyes, it looks like Fred Sinella maybe. Jacqueline Chavez is taking over Fred Sinella, so we've got a change in that. So looks like Jacqueline Chavez could be the 6th school committee person. So there's the potential for another one there. So going to be an interesting night. Okay, going back to the at-large, Dan Rizzo, I think these are still the same, 3066. Mark Silvestri, 2518. Morabito was number 2 with 2552. Silvestri, number 3. Visconti, number 4. And Rotundo, number 5, followed by Zambuto, number 6, and out at this point. So, looking at it, so looks like we're going to have 4 new faces on the council, and we could have possibly 4 new faces on the school committee, I think, if I did it right. Kingston, Chavez, Ellis, no, maybe 3 new faces. So, either way, looks like some changes taking place there. I mean, 3 new faces on a council of 6. Here we go. So we've got Chavez. Let's see, Carroll is 2373 is 1, 2373. 2167 is Kingston is number 2. 2012, Ferranti number 3. Aisha Milbury Ellis is number 4 at 1989. Stacy Rizzo is number 5 at 1800. And then Chavez 1692 versus Fred Sinella 1686. So am I missing? Though I missed Gravelisi, so forgive. Let's go back again. You need a second set of eyes. Carol Ty, Ferranti. Then we've got Sue Gravelisi at Carol Ty, Ferranti, Kingston. 1989 is Aisha. 1976 is Sue Gravelisi. So there's 5. And then after that, the closest is 1814 Stacy Rizzo. So I stand corrected. Those are the 6. All right, coming back to the council at large. Rizzo is still at 3,076. Morabito is still number 2. Silvestri is still number 3. Visconti number 4, Rotundo number 5, and Tony Zambuto number 6. So 5 out of those 6 will make it. Means Tony is not going to make it at this point. Okay, we've got Dan Rizzo, counselor at large. Looks like he's got a pretty good lead going in with 20 of 21. Dan, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, we had some tremendous response by the voters, and I'm happy to be able to once again serve our city and serve the various neighborhoods that make up our city and the residents who live there. So I'm very excited about it, and ready to get to work.
Yeah, I'll bet. So that being said, I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked everybody else. When you get there in January, what are the first things you're looking to tackle, and what sort of things do you want to be working on committee-wise and so forth?
Well, there's so many things to talk about. I mean, I've always paid attention to the budget. I mean, in my opinion, the budget has just run way out of control. So I definitely want to dig into the budget. We've gone, when I left office as mayor, at 167 million. Last I checked, it was up to 241 million. And I'm not sure exactly what all we're getting more, with 241 versus 167. So, those are things that I've always been deeply concerned about. And I've always been, very, very sensitive to people's ability to pay. And as we all know, property taxes are one of the most regressive taxes you can have. So I've always been very, very cognizant of that. But that's just one issue. There's so many others. We've got a couple of new schools that we're looking at, a new vocational school, a new high school that we're going to have to make some serious decisions on. We've got issues with zoning, and I think I haven't been secret about it. It's no secret to anybody how I feel about zoning and how I believe we should stay in conformance with zoning. I think we're giving out way too many special permits and variances. So those are things that I'm deeply concerned about that really have real life impacts on neighborhoods and on people's ability to live the way they want to in the city. So I've said this before. It's not that I'm anti-development. It's just what type of development and how we're going to mitigate any circumstances that result as that will result because of these new developments. Where they're going up fast and furious, and I'm not sure we've got the necessary infrastructure, to keep going the way we're going. So I'm going to be very, very cognizant of that, and
You still there?
To work with everybody. It's what the environment is up in the city council. It's hard to get two people to agree, and to try to get 11 people to agree is that much exponentially harder. So I'm going to try to do what I can to to work together with everybody, and we're all there. We all should be there. For one reason, and that's to make Revere the best possible city we can for our residents and to try to provide the best quality of life we can across the board. So I'm looking forward to it. And, I just want to say thank you to the voters who came out today and afforded me this opportunity once again. The voters in this city have been so good to me. I mean, elections, they change every couple of years, and, sometimes you have different outcomes. They don't always go the way you want, but, the voters, have still, stood by me and stood behind me. And I'm just grateful to those that have. And I want to just pledge to them and even to the people who didn't vote for me, I want to pledge to them that I'm going to work just as hard for them as I would for anybody to make sure their quality of life is the best it possibly can be. So, again, thanks to the voters and thanks to the, certainly my volunteers. It's incredible. They keep coming back. My wife always asks me why. She can't figure out why they keep coming back, but I've got such a tremendous source of support through so many solid volunteers and friends. And I also like to congratulate all the other candidates that ran and their supporters. Yeah. I talked to so many of them today who were out, it wasn't a cold day, but when you're out there for 5, 6, 7 hours and they're standing there with a sign in your hand, it gets cold. And these brave troopers, they work through it, and I applaud all of them. So I applaud all the candidates. The ones who weren't so successful, I would encourage them to keep going.
Amen.
I don't think there's anybody that has had to keep getting up, getting pushed back, coming back. I mean, than I have, and I would just suggest to them that if they weren't successful this time, like in the case of John Kingston, John did very
bring
well.
up John. You're right.
Yeah, so anyway.
Okay, well, congratulations, Dan. Go off and enjoy yourself tonight. Look forward to talking to you more when you're on the council. I actually have Mark Silvestri on the line, who looks like another winner tonight in the council race. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Ed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I think congratulations is somewhat in order. I know it's not yet official yet, but it looks pretty good right now. You're, at this point, you are third out of 6. So
yes,
that would look pretty good for you. I don't know if you've popped the champagne yet, but well, actually, this is 21 of 21 precincts reporting in, so we're pretty damn close. And you're probably closer to it than I am. I mean, do your numbers officially put you on the council next year?
So far, they do, Ed. Yes, and it's very exciting. And I would like to, thank, first and foremost, my family for supporting me and my close friends and, the residents of Revere who came out and really showed that they wanted some change on the council. And that's kind of what I owe this to, and that's what we heard a lot on the doors. And, they came out, the residents spoke, and I'm honored to be here. And it's an honor and privilege right now. I'm very excited.
Well, I know, and having talked to you while you were on the campaign trail, you're out there working hard for it, and like they say, at some points it starts to pay off. So congratulations, and I'm going to ask you the same question I've been asking everybody else. So when you get up to the city council in January, what are the first things you're looking to tackle and committees that you want to be involved in?
Ed, some of the first things that I think, we all need to tackle as a council is bringing the city together. We've been divided for a while, and now's the time we work together and making Revere the best possible place for everyone that calls it home. And, making sure that our residents have the right services, our city offices and departments are properly staffed and funded, and we make Revere the best place possible for the residents of our city. And that's a big part in making sure everyone feels equal and feels as though they have a voice on the council.
Yeah, it's an important one. I mean, that's something I heard earlier before, and as we know, when we looking at what appears to be the makeup, there's going to be some opposing positions and policies or philosophies on the way the city gets run. So it'll be very important that we're able to keep it together and discuss things, properly, so to speak, and with decorum as we
absolutely
move forward.
We may all have differences in opinions and differences in ideas, but ultimately, at the end of the day, our job is to serve the people of our city with respect and honor. And, at some point, we have to put personalities and ideology aside and work together in ensuring, that projects Suffolk Downs is the best that we can get out of it.
Just hold on 1 second there, Mark, because I just got, it looks like maybe the final update, and you probably know better than I do, and I'm looking at Dan Rizzo was still the lead at 3184. Steve Morabito is still second at 2666. You are third at 2631, followed by Jerry Visconti at 2342, George Rotundo at 2249, and Tony Zambuto is the odd man out, if you will, at this point, not making the count. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
I want to thank all the counselors and everyone that was in the race. Putting your name on a ballot is not an easy thing. The amount of work and effort that goes into a race like this citywide is an astronomical task. And it's been a long 9 months. We've got to talk to a lot of our residents, hear their ideas and issues they face on a daily basis. And that's been a privilege. I said coming into this morning, whether we win or lose, we need to sit here and bring the city together. And, it's been an honor just having the opportunity to get out there and talk to our residents and get to meet new people and connect with old friends. So we have a lot of work to do, and there's a lot on the table that we need to get done, and I look forward to making that happen.
And if I could ask, and at the risk of bringing up, what I hope is not a sore subject for you, but a few months back, you said you've been running 9 months. You took an aborted attempt, if you will, at a state office, I say state representative, and I know there were some problems and issues there. And the only reason I bring it up is, was there anything from that experience that kind of affected the way you ran your campaign this time?
I would say I took a lot of that in ensuring that, all our signatures were tight and our signatures were turned in, and I got to say, Ed, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. And I feel as though right now I'm exactly where I should be. And that's where my feet are. And that's what we need to do is concentrate now on the council. And obviously there was a reason that happened. And now I'm honored here to serve the people of Revere.
Well, that's great. Well, congratulations. And I think the saying goes, what doesn't kill us makes us better. And even though there was a stumble, you came out better in this time, and you've got a victory to look forward to. So go off and enjoy yourself tonight. I have Jerry Visconti on the line right now. Take care, Mark. Mr. Visconti. Are you there?
I am.
Good evening to you.
Ed?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can I hear you?
Ed?
Yes. That's me.
Hi, Ed.
Hi there. Are you in the dead zone?
Hello?
Yes. What we have here is a failure to communicate. We're trying to get it. And I know he's trying to get us. Jerry, as I think you saw, if I remember the numbers correctly, is number 3 in the count tonight. Let's see. Yes, he is. Mark Silvestri, number 4, excuse me, in the count tonight.
Hello?
Hey, Jerry, can you hear me now? No. I guess. Well, Jerry's having difficulty trying to get in here. I don't know. He might be in a dead zone somewhere, but he'll catch up with us, I'm sure. But interesting, as we were saying, there's going to be some interesting changes. Can we go back to the school committee and see where that hangs right now? So let's go back to there. So we have Carol as number 1 at 2482. And then we have the next one up from there, 2482. I'm looking down 2274 for Kingston. John Kingston is number 2. And then if I go down from there, 2099 for Michael Ferranti. That looks like is the one. And then 2066 for Aisha. Okay, if Jerry's there, bring him on, and we'll come back to that count in a minute. Hello, Jerry. I see a light flashing.
I have a bad connection.
Is that Jerry? We can hear you fine. We can't see you all that well, but we can hear you. How you doing? Uh-oh.
I can't. Hello?
Hello.
Ed, I'm sorry.
Hello, Rangoon. All right, that sounds much better. That sounds much better.
My apologies.
I can see you better, too, now. Well,
there you go. How are you, Ed?
I'm doing
Good to
well.
see you.
So if the numbers hold up and they look good right now, I think you are number 4 in the count. Number 3 or 4, somewhere in that game. But at any rate, it looks like you'll be returning in January. Congratulations.
I want to say thank you, Ed.
Do your numbers show the same?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, I believe that's the case. And I want to say, number one, I want to say thank you to the residents and for voting me back in. I'm humbled by the results, and I appreciate their support. That's number one. And I also want to say thank you to my wife and children, and all the supporters and Team Visconti that was out there knocking doors and running this campaign. I can't thank them enough. It's humbling.
Well, yeah, and I was talking to Mark Silvestri, the same thing, and he was saying, like about working out there and getting to meet people, and I think Patrick Keefe earlier tonight said something similar about being out there. I think one of the things he talked about is identifying those who are angry with you and trying to figure out what is that anger and working on it. So it's not only the supporters, but understanding the other people and winning them over as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. In this position, you're never going to make everybody happy, and it's everybody takes it lightly, but it's not an easy job, and we have to look and try to do what's best for the city as well as the residents of this community, and that's a juggling act.
Yeah.
You really. It's a fine line, but you know what? The residents spoke. They voted me in, and tomorrow starts. We're ready to start tomorrow again.
Yeah. So tomorrow you can breathe a little easier. You don't have to get on the campaign trail again. I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked everybody else. When you come in January with the new session and so forth, what are the first things that you want to tackle in committees? And I know, and I'll follow that up with, and I know you've been very much involved in the budget process, and I don't know if you heard earlier, but Dan Rizzo spoke to that budget is one of his primary issues. So I'm assuming you'll continue working on budget, and well, I'll let you answer.
I agreed. I obviously I look at it as my. I have looked at it as being fiscally responsible throughout these last 2 years. I do that in my job, and I do it, at the council as well. So the budget is something I look heavily into, and I will continue to do that and voice my opinions when needed. So
Yep.
Absolutely, we need to, cut budget and make sure, taxes are low and trying to help the residents of the city because they're struggling as well.
Yeah. Any other issues in particular that you want to hit the ground running on in January?
Right now, I'm sure there's many, and at this point in the game. Listen, we're just happy to, be reelected, and we'll look at those topics when that comes. But right now, we're going to enjoy the victory and look forward to January.
Well, I got a cigar and a whiskey waiting in the shed for you, so we'll have to celebrate with that at some point as we go forward between now and January. Hey, enjoy
Absolutely,
your night.
Ed.
Thank you very much for calling
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay. So we've got going back to the school committee, which is where we were. So we had Carol Ty at 2482. Again, is still the leader. And 2274, John Kingston is second. And 2099 is third, it looks like, if I got it right, followed by 2066, Aisha is fourth, and then 2051, Susan Gravelisi is fifth. And moving on down, we got 768, Jackie Chavez is still holding lead, and this is 21 to 21. So it looks to me, if I'm reading it correctly, that Jackie Chavez has made it onto the school committee, which means we have 3 new people on the school committee this coming year. Jackie Chavez, John Kingston, and Aisha Milbury-Ellis. So all 2 of them, as I said, newcomers to the school committee and to politics in Revere in particular. And then John Kingston, who this is his second attempt, and if first you don't succeed, try again. And John tried, and he succeeded this time. So we've got those 3, and again, if I'm reading it correctly, and then followed by Carol is number 4, and then Susan Gravelisi And did I miss Stacy Rizzo again? And forgive me, because the way I'm reading these numbers, they're all blurring together at this point. So 24, 22, 2066, 2055. That's 4. 2099 is 5. Stacy Rizzo is 1899 versus 1768. So I am incorrect with Jackie Chavez, and I'm so sorry about that. So it looks like Stacy Rizzo is the 6, if I'm doing that correct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. I think that's the way it's turned out. So I'm so sorry for misstating the outcome there. In the booth, do I have that right? Did I get that correct?
Well, we were checking it out.
Yeah, please do that for me. Forgive me. I'm trying to read the numbers, and of course they're not in numerical order. It's all in alphabetical order. So trying to mash them up, and these old man eyes sometimes get to me. So we'll get confirmation on that. But at this point, we know we have 2, John Kingston and Aisha Milbury Ellis. If everything else goes through, the other incumbents, Stacy Rizzo, Michael Ferranti, Susan Gravelisi, will be returning. So those 3, Carol Ty being number 4 of the incumbents, and then you've got John Kingston and Aisha will be 5 and 6, which means that Fred Sinella is not there next year. And that's it. Fred Sinella then will not be returning to the school committee if these numbers hold up and my calculations and analysis here is correct. And Jackie Chavez put in a very good race, which I would say would bode well for her in another 2 years, should she decide to run again. And it'll be interesting. So that seems to be the school committee race. And again, going back to the ward races, again, Joanne McKenna, unopposed, is Ward 1 counselor next year. Ira, and here we are with so Ira's 300 to 267, which were the numbers he reported to us earlier. Thank you, Ira. And Ward 3, Anthony Cagliandro, the final looks like 589 to Al Terminello, 271, excuse me. So Anthony will be going to the council next year, a new member. Patrick Keefe, unopposed, retains his seat, 694 votes. Al Fiore wins Ward 5 over John Powers, longtime counselor in that area. So there'll be another new counselor in the council in January, and then Ricky Serena will be returning with 828 votes. So that's the ward and the at-large council. And are there any others that we're waiting for at this point? 21 out of 21. I think school committee, I've gone through that one again. There was no change there. So, and then the at-large, again, no changes there. So it looks like, as I said, we're going to have 1, 2 new counselors, new counselor at-larges next year. We're going to have 2 new ward counselors, so there are 4 new counselors on the city council next year. And in the school committee, we're going to have 2 new school committee people next year. So that's quite a bit of change. An interesting changeover, an interesting election. I mean, for one that people said, and I'm not sure how this vote will stack up against all the other ones in the past, but looks like we got John Kingston on the line. John, welcome, and how you doing tonight? John? Oh, hold on. We see his name, but we can't hear him yet. All right, we're going to try and get back to him. We're having a little difficulty connecting him up. The string on the cans broke, and we're trying to tie them back up again. Ah, there he is.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, whoops. Wait a minute. Is that George calling you, John? Or do we have George on the line as well? Hold on. Okay, we lost John. We got George. Welcome, George.
Welcome. How are you all tonight?
All right. Were you playing the Blues Club tonight?
You could say that.
Congratulations. It looks like you're on for another term at this point. Yeah?
It does. It does. It
Yeah.
looks like we've got much work to do on the council. I have a feeling this election will be litigated, considering the complexities of it without getting into great detail. Just knowing just some of the issues that go with this election because of some of the issues that are involved in it, I have a feeling that the results may be the results tonight, but I have a very strong feeling that this election will be litigated. But that said, I think it's a great night for Revere. You know, democracy is always best when democracy is challenged. I believe in the ideals of, being part of that process. But more importantly, I believe in being part of the checks and balances in the city of Revere. And more importantly, moving the city forward. I now have a third daughter, Bella, and she's at home. And my daughters, Gabriella and Amanda, who are not normally political, but this year became a little political. But I have not been able to partake in the normal aspects of campaigning that I have in the past due to multiple injuries. And I'm just very fortunate that the voters had seen fit to bring me back to the council. I believe that, frankly, the people know that I work for them. Y también es muy importante si hay una persona en como el servicio de público, si puede hablar español y también otros idiomas. And I believe it's important to have someone that's in public service that can speak different languages and basically act as a conduit between people. And I believe I have that capacity, and I do believe I take that niche to the council, so to speak. But at the end of the day, we have many pressing issues in our community. And one of them is going to be the issue of the high school, which I believe belongs down at Wonderland. I believe that is the best for the neighborhoods. But more importantly, I believe it gives the ability to expand in the future and provides a perspective that you will be closer to the beach as a high school. You'll be closer to mass transit, Amazon, and obviously several train stops away from the newest development in the history of the North Shore, the $1 billion plus HYM development at Suffolk Downs. And I think that will be a great place for our students to obtain internships and jobs. I would hope that we can move forward with putting that at Wonderland for those particular reasons, and I'm elated over the idea of getting a commuter rail over at Wonderland. And frankly, I like the reinvigoration of Shirley Avenue. Some people may demonize him and other people may not, but I won't mention his name because he doesn't like to be put out there. But there's a developer that does excellent work, and he is a small developer in comparison to developers that develop 500 unit projects. And I think we need to slow down on that process and start thinking of our neighborhoods. We grew 20%, since the last census, and we might be moving quick in some directions and slow in others. So I'm just happy to be back on the council to be that checks and balances, and more importantly, be the voice of all people.
You mentioned litigation earlier. Do you want to expand upon that, or?
Well, sure. Actually, I believe that, and this is no disrespect to Councilor-elect Silvestri, I believe that because he, and this was actually spoken to ethics already, because I have asked him for a ruling regarding an issue that would pertain to me in the event if I took a position in the city of Revere, what would take place. And I believe that same issue will be addressed by Councilor Zambudo, as that he is the Veterans Director and he's receiving funding from the city for that would give the appearance of a conflict of interest. I could be wrong, and Ms. Nee, who gave me that rendering, could be wrong as well, as I, have it sent to me for email for a similar issue. I wish everybody the best. I see, that this would be a litigated issue if he does get sworn in. And, anybody can forego their pay. That's not the issue. The pay has never been the issue. It's the appearance of a conflict of interest that causes the conflict of interest. Okay. And I believe my brother, who is an attorney and has taught law and has done many things, would probably know this better than some people. Okay. So I don't want to delve into that particular issue, but I would not be surprised if that takes place. And that's not to mire Mark Silvestri, who did an excellent job campaigning. He is a war hero. He is one of the best veterans directors that we've ever had. Quite frankly, he does a great job. Unfortunately, you know me, Ed, I speak my mind. I don't mince my words. What you see is what I get. And on that note, to my detractors during this campaign who were vicious and went after my daughters, it is what it is. You lost, I won, and that's how it goes.
Yep. Well, savor the night tonight. Savor the time going forward. Enjoy your new daughter. And
I'm going to go change diapers pretty soon.
Pardon?
I got diaper duty tonight.
There you go. Well, savor that. You know what they say, like what's the whole thing with is it yoga or whatever is, lean into the pain there.
Or as they say in the Army, embrace the suck.
There you go, whatever it is. But listen,
Inshallah.
I'm sure you will lean into it. Thank you for expanding upon that. Again, we all wish Mark well, and I hope that it doesn't come to that. But, it is what it is, and if there's an issue, then it needs to be addressed. But, okay, enjoy your night, and thank you for coming on. Take care, George.
Thank you. Shukran.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Okay, I saw a couple of others flash up earlier, but did we lose them? I know we had John on, we lost John, then we got George. Then I saw Tony Zambudo flash up, I believe, but... ¿Qué están haciendo aquí, huh?
Estoy aquí.
What's
como
happening?
Nada. Adiós.
Adiós, George.
Ya me voy.
So,
Masalama. You could do that too.
Adios. So going back to the wards, we'll just recap that one more time. Ward 1, Joanne McKenna, 578, and that's 3 precincts. So she got 578 votes in Ward 1. Ira got this 300 to 267, wins Ward 2, will be returning to the council. Anthony Cagliandro will be going new to the council in January, defeating Al Terminello and taking the place of Arthur Gonasso, who retired this year. Ward 4, Patrick Keefe, unopposed, will be returning to the council in January. Ward 5, Al Fiore, another new face on the council starting January, has defeated John Powers, longtime councilor there in Ward 5. And Ward 6, Ricky Serino, will be returning unopposed, and he got 828 votes. Again, looking at the school committee, it was Carol Ty, John Kingston, Aisha Milbury-Ellis, Susan Gravelisi, Michael Ferranti, and Stacy Rizzo. I think I did that right this time, without a 2 times around. So that's the school committee race. And then, at large? Yes. Again, Dan Rizzo, 3184, 3,184. Second vote getter, 2666, Stephen Morabito. Third, Mark Silvestri. Fourth, Jerry Visconti, excuse me. And fifth, George Rotundo, 2219. And as it stands right now, Tony Zambuto out of the running. So that, yes.
We have done, fortunately though, we're still struggling for his end.
Yep.
I don't know if he's watching this right now or if he can hear me or hear you. Maybe we could ask John to perhaps try to leave the Zoom and reconnect.
All right.
His connection is just not making a connection to us right now.
So John, if you're there, Control Alt Delete, shut down the app, reconnect. Oh, he did. I wanted to snap my fingers so you would appear, John.
On the Zoom is that the video's connecting, but his audio is not connecting.
All right, so we can see you, but we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us. Is your mute button on, or? Oh, he's calling in the family technician. Still trying. Oh, there you go.
Finally,
Eureka! Hello. How are you tonight?
great. I just want to thank all the voters for supporting me. Very much appreciated. I worked very hard. I tried my best, and I'm very happy to come in second. I want to thank Revere TV for giving the candidates this opportunity. I think it's very nice. I think Revere TV does an amazing job. I've been busy the last few Friday nights. I couldn't go to the away football games, and it's great to turn into Pat Keefe and his crew doing the game live. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Pat, and your crew for providing the people of Revere access to the football games when we're away. I'm very much looking forward to helping and being part of the school committee, getting a new high school built for the residents and for the students. And that's the thing that I was most interested in running. And I'm very happy that I came in second, and I'm looking forward to getting to work as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, it's quite interesting, and as you know better than anybody else, of course, the last election you tried and just weren't able to get the numbers to get on the committee, but you came back and tried again, and now you're the second vote getter, which is fantastic in terms of a turnaround. Yeah, it's almost like from last to first, just about. I'm going to ask you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you and you're the first school committee person to come on tonight, and I've been asking all the counselors, come January, which is when I believe you're getting sworn in, if it's the same as the city council, and forgive my
Yes, sir.
there. So come January, when you get sworn in, you mentioned the new school. What other issues beyond that are you really totally interested and want to get started on when you come onto the school committee?
Well, the budget's already decided, but in the spring, I'd really like to look at hiring a grant writer. I think that's very important. I want a dedicated grant writer, someone that can help us get some more money into the district for new projects and to start some new initiatives. I'm also interested in school security. I'd like to see cameras added at all the schools. We got to keep our kids safe. That's one of the most important things. And I think cameras will help us with that. It's just hard to watch. Let's say the high school, there's literally tens of doors. So you need help with that. And I think cameras would be a big help. So school security is very important. And also the teachers just settled their contract, which I'm very happy about. But I think we need to work on a little more cooperation between teachers, admin, and central office. I'd really like to sit down with the teachers and try to make their jobs a little easier and maybe take a few things off their plate. They work very, very hard to educate the kids in Revere, and I think they need as much help and support as we can give them.
Yeah.
So that's very important. The other thing I want to make sure we do is increase communication between the schools and parents. I'd like to see some message boards up at the schools. Drive by the school, it says no school today, or PTA meeting tonight, or Revere High football won the game tonight, Revere High basketball won, or whatever, just to give the parents and the community some information. We're going to spend between $300 and $400 million to build a new high school. That needs to be a community center. It needs to have a community component, whether it's people going to see a play or maybe watching a movie or using the gymnasium at that school. it needs to be an open forum for everyone to be able to use it. You can't ask a community to spend $300 or $400 million and not allow them inside the building.
Yep.
So that's very important to me as well.
Well, that fantastic. And I have to say, and as we were talking earlier about, the teachers and all of that stuff, and one of the things I took away from your candidate statement was through your father, through your involvement in the credit union and so forth, getting to meet and talk to all those people, giving you so much breadth of knowledge and information about what's going on, if you will, behind the scenes, and taking that forward to what you want to try and accomplish. So that's great.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All
Thank you to the voters, and thank you to all my friends and family who spent a lot of time with me and really helped me. I could not have won without them, and I'm so very thankful to them. Thank you.
Well, enjoy yourself, John. You deserve it, and we'll be talking to you, I'm sure, going forward. Take care.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, well, that looks like it wraps up the show for this evening. We aren't going to go through the numbers again, but as I said, we've got we will go through the numbers again, but looking at the ward councilors, like I said, we've got Morabito returning, Rotundo returning, Visconti returning, and we've got 2 new people on the at-large, Dan Rizzo and Mark Silvestri. So that's what makes up that. Joanne will be returning unopposed. Ira Novoselski is returning. Anthony Cagliandro is going to Ward 3, replacing Arthur Ganasso. Patrick Keefe is returning. Al Fiore will be replacing John Powers, who we ran against and who lost. And then last of all, we have Ricky Serino in Ward 6 will be returning next year. And then with the school committee, we've got Carol Ty, Aisha Milbury-Ellis, John Kingston, Susan Gravelisi, Michael Ferranti, and Stacy Bronson Rizzo will all be sitting on the school committee come January. So that is your lineup for next year. We'll put out the scorecards and go from there. So, hey, until the next time we get to talk, take care.